everyone, Chang here and welcome to my channel. This is the skill building video series where we basically pick a skill and practice it very well so that when we ever encounter a problem that needs that skill, we can solve it with ease. Let's begin. So for today's video, we're going to be focusing on distributive property. More importantly, actually distributing monomials. So what that means is basically you have that individual expression or individual part and you're distributing it within the parentheses to however many parts in the parentheses there are. Now, the best way to do this is actually to just first pay attention to the signs in front of the monomial. All right, if it's positive, you got to make sure you are distributing it positively. If it's negative, you're making sure you're distributing the negative sign as well. Now, the second thing is to multiply when you're distributing those monomials to every single part inside the parentheses. So make sure you stay organized. You don't want to accidentally miss one. And what we're going to do today is actually something called the box method. Now, I personally haven't really learned this when I was learning distributive property, but I found that this method is really good in helping people stay organized. So let's practice. Now, for this first problem, we have x times y plus z. Now, the way I learned it in school, maybe the old-fashioned way, is basically whatever's in front. This is your monomial, right? It's only one term without it being separated by some addition, subtraction, none of that. So it's one term, and then what I learned in school was basically you distribute it that way. You just make sure you are organized enough to multiply into every single part. Now, the box method that I've seen is actually quite interesting. So what you do in this case is actually you draw, well, guess what? It's called a box method. So you're drawing a box and you're going to separate it by however many terms there are in there. So there's two. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this so that you have two little boxes. Now, the top part, you're going to put y and then you're going to have a plus z just to make sure you know that it's positive. Well, the y is also positive. And then you have your x out here. So this helps you stay organized in that basically it tells you exactly what to multiply. X times y in this case is just xy. X times z in this case is just xz. And then in this total instance, you're going to add them all together. So you're going to have xy plus xz. And this would be your answer. Now to just throw an extremely difficult looking problem, something like this, right? Once again, your monomial is over here, even though it doesn't really have a parentheses. Remember, monomial is basically your expression that's not separated by any addition or subtraction sign. So here's your monomial, and you're going to distribute this into this parentheses. So once again, the old-fashioned way is basically you just make sure you are organized and you distribute it to everything in there. The box method, which I actually prefer now, I like, just because it helps you keep organized, is you draw a box. Once again, there are three terms in here, so you're going to separate it so that there's three boxes. Now, the terms you're going to put on top, 2x, 3y, right, is going to be plus 3y, so let's just make sure we add that. And then we have a minus 4z. This is definitely important. We got to make sure we have the minus sign there so we know that it's negative. In this case, we also have a negative 3. So we're going to multiply, right? So 3 times 2x in this case, or negative 3 times 2x, is going to be negative 6x. Okay, negative 3 times 3y is going to be negative 9y. Now, negative 3 times negative 4z is actually going to be negative times negative is positive. So in this case, it's going to be 12z, right? After that, you add them all together. You have negative 6x, and it's going to be plus a negative 9y, or you could just do minus 9y, and it's going to be plus 12z. And so this would be your answer. Now, for the remainder of this video, I'm going to refrain from giving an explanation. Hopefully you guys can follow along. I'm just going to use box method for all of them. Okay, so Thank you for watching this video on distributing monomials. Hopefully that box method really helps with the organization. See you in the next video.